Okay, so I'm recording again.
Recording?
We had a horrendous crash of the Wirecast program.
Man.
Which I'm not sure what it did. I'm pretty sure that we're not streaming. I'm going to push the stream button, but I don't think anything's going to happen. We'll find out.
Islands in the stream.
It might rejoin.
It says meeting is now streaming live on custom streaming service.
Oh, no, that's just warning you that you're being sent somewhere. I don't think we're still live.
Fancy stuff. Oh, well. They can catch up with it.
Yeah. I'm looking on my phone at where it crashed and burned, and I'm pretty sure it's not starting up again. But
damn,
we'll see. Anyway, I'll have to edit this together and send up a new file to you.
All right.
So what's the ultimate resolution of your car story?
Oh, I love the car. I'm just going to clean the car out. I'm going to fill out the review on the dealership, and then I'm going to, and it's not going to be a great one. I just, the dealer, I heard a commercial for it on the radio yesterday as I was driving around. It's Melissa and I went out to get Jarling's custard. Because I was supposed to be out of town, but that didn't happen, and I had a chance to go out of town another way that I turned down because whatever. So, and that sucked. So we were out, and there was a commercial for it on the radio, and I was like, bullshit. That's all bullshit. Never buy another car from them. I'll probably never buy another car again anyway, because I'm old. Yeah, so they're not getting a good review. And I got to go buy a swing set. I got to do my taxes. I got to go to the grocery store. I got to go to Costco, get some stuff. I need some more kimchi. Do you like kimchi?
I don't think so. It's hot, right?
Yeah, it's like hot coleslaw.
Yeah.
And I got to finish I did brisket, and I got to pull it.
Brisket I would like.
Pulled pork for dinner, which I probably should go do because it's ready. So I got to pull it and sauce it, and then we'll have that later. And so I got a lot to do, so we better get out of here.
There were many things left in our show doc that we have not talked about.
Were there? I lost it.
In theory, I am going to drive to Dallas to watch the eclipse.
Really?
In theory.
You used to work in Dallas.
I did very briefly one summer at
K-News 99. K-News 99, and that's where I don't know. I just Felix the cat was involved somehow.
The radio station was on the second floor, off to the side of a building that had a theater. And at that time in that theater's history, they were playing porn. And so
nice.
It was co-owned. It was all owned by the McClendon Corporation.
Right. Gordon McClendon.
Yep.
The father of Top 40.
And I didn't know that. Because we were Top 40. This is an FM Top 40 station in 1972, which is a little.
He also started that WNUS, the all news station in Chicago.
Yeah, same time. And so I would be able to go down on my lunch hour and go into the movie theater for free and watch a movie for 30 minutes. And so Fritz the Cat, the pornographic cartoon, was playing. Unfortunately, it was playing in 3D. And while I could go in and watch, I couldn't get free 3D glasses, so I would see it.
Oh. Have you got your Eclipse glasses, though?
Yeah, they were sitting right here, and I put them away. Yeah.
I can't even see you. You're not, the video's not on.
Oh, yeah, there's the thing. We push another couple of buttons here.
So I used to work near Dallas and go to Saul's Turf Bar and Dewey Groom's Longhorn Ballroom. I don't think either of those are there anymore.
Can you see me now?
Yeah, but I'm an asshole.
Oh, no. I did it again.
Whatever. They don't need to see me. People know. They've seen me.
I was only looking at the preview monitor.
there we go.
For some reason, I needed something big on preview. And so once I brought up your picture, I didn't push the button that put it on live.
So we're at 98% eclipse where we live. If we drive
You just
an
drive
hour
over to
south,
Indianapolis and you're in.
Yeah, if we just drive an hour south to Effingham.
Yeah. But you want to look at the
If you ain't eating wham, you ain't eating ham. And this is a big ham day, being Easter. What if you get sick from it? Then you say, that Effingham. And we could just go to Effingham and see the whole full eclipse, but the roads will be packed.
That will be the thing. The roads, you have to leave.
So
really
what's the
early.
difference between a 97% or 98% and 100%?
It is, to coin a phrase, night and day.
What if I just close my eyes for a couple of minutes and pretend we went to 100%?
Well, see, that's not the thing. I mean, it's interesting to look around you and to say, "Ooh, it looks dark," and the crickets are starting to chirp, and the cows are going moo.
Well, they'll do that here, 97%, won't they?
Maybe, but it is looking up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's a
I'm
total
not going to
eclipse.
look at an eclipse
And you can look at it safely
for like 10 seconds.
with your naked eye for 2.5, 3 minutes.
And what if you misjudge the time? This is like the guy in, it's my brother-in-law, and his still. And it's like, well, we think it's good, but if it brews too long, it'll become methanol, and if you drink it, it'll blind you. And there's like 5 really drunk people standing around this thing going, we think it's okay. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to take your word for it. And I did. And I didn't go blind, so it must have been in time. So anyway,
Was it delicious?
It was.
So here's the thing.
Burns,
Having
tell
done
me,
this before,
don't you know?
two things.
Chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug.
The weather forecast for Dallas this far out, which is literally, is rain, cloudy all day and rain. So plus I'm maybe coming down with something that may knock me out of the action for the weekend.
Oh man, that would suck.
Well, a couple things. If it's cloudy and rainy, eclipse watching, it'll get dark, but you won't be able to see the eclipse. The thing is looking at the sun when it is eclipsed. It is a black hole in a dark sky. It's not dark like night. You're not seeing stars and things like that. It's, there's still a blue tint to the sky with this black hole in it, and it is really weird. And you may see a little fringe around it. Sort of depends on how far out the moon is. I think this is where the moon is fairly close, and it's going to really cover the entire sun. And then as the moon is about to transit to the point where it's no longer covering the sun, you start to see a little fringe of light. And at one side, there's a little extra bright shining spot. They call that the diamond ring.
And that's what blows up your retina.
No, that's what tells you it's time to stop looking. Because I saw that and then stopped.
It's a week from tomorrow.
It's all documented in an episode of Ham Radio Now, my ham radio show called
Ham Radio Now.
Totaled. Go look at Ham Radio Now, hamradionow.tv, or on YouTube, Ham Radio Now, and for the episode called Totaled. And you will see me react to the eclipse and my camera showing the eclipse.
Oh, how cool is that?
Yeah.
So if we were a together
this is the
family,
2017 eclipse.
If we were a together family and had our shit together, which we don't, we would have coordinated to all converge on your nephew's place, which is in the middle of eclipse zone.
Yep. Unfortunately,
And,
it's also scheduled to be raining or cloudy, and there isn't any place along the eclipse line between where it comes into the U.S. in southern Texas and crosses Oklahoma, southern Illinois, into Indiana. All of it, as you get to Indianapolis, it's talking about being partly sunny. So that's maybe there'll be a cloud in the way, and maybe there won't.
That happened in Carbondale with the last one. Somebody said that at the last minute, this cloud went over. So people who were at like SIU in the stadium waiting to see it and stuff, this cloud came over right at the wrong moment.
Yeah.
But other people saw it. So.
Yep. So it's looking, it's looking dicey for this year's eclipse, which will be the last one in my lifetime, your lifetime. But I've seen one.
Well, when's the next one?
I don't know, the total eclipse. It's decades away, I think.
When was the one before last? Because I think I remember seeing one.
I'll have to look.
And Halley's Comet too. Total eclipse of the heart.
So,
I swear I remember seeing one, and we made a little box and all that stuff. I don't know. Paper plate, got a pinhole in it.
well,
Projected it onto a
I'm sure, but people do that when they are in
partial eclipse.
partial eclipses too.
So when was the
so
last one? That we would have seen in Detroit or Chicago.
15 total eclipses. Let me bring this up here under this big screen. There have been 15 total eclipses to affect at least a portion of the continental U.S. over the past 150 years since 1867. So
I'm going to say 1963 or 59. Did either of those, where did they go? Where were they total?
Wait a minute. What? Because this list doesn't include 2017. When did this story come out?
I don't know. What, are there more then?
Well, I know there was one in
Historic
2017 because I was there.
Ooh.
My privacy. I'm clicking away my privacy forever.
Oh, no. They're going to find out you played that Balls song and you're dead.
Oh, okay. So this was July 28th, 2017, getting ready for the August total eclipse in 2017.
Well, I know, but I don't want 2017. We know. What was the other one?
Okay.
What are some others?
Yeah. So these are this list: 1945, 54, 59, 63, 70, and 79. Only one of these transversed the entire country coast to coast. That was 1918, and so 2017, 99 years later, did the same thing.
Well,
Jay is furiously typing on his phone.
Well, I'm trying to find out that
Apparently, got your phone working again.
there were 8 annular eclipses. Chicago. I'm trying to find out total
He said
eclipse.
annular. Oh.
The last total eclipse in Chicago was 2017, but what about one before that? Solar eclipse is visible from Chicago, but that's not the same thing as visible.
Wouldn't
Total eclipse.
Anyway, the difference between 99% and the difference between 99% and 100% is bigger than the difference between 0 and 99%. That's what I say.
Oh, the last 2 total solar eclipses visible from Illinois were in 1869 and 1806. I don't think we saw them.
I almost saw that.
No, we saw major eclipses, but we didn't see the total one. Okay, well, I'm wrong. We didn't see it. Whatever.
Okay, so let's
The long and the short of it is we didn't see them. Do you know that's the first time I've said that the whole show?
Yeah. Everybody take a drink. So this is the Austin Statesman. We're going to be up the road from Austin, but the weather will be about the same.
Austin's awesome.
This is from yesterday. Fingers crossed, skies are clear and blue for the total solar eclipse. But I don't think so. What's an ad? Oh, it's an ad for Disney. It's still uncertain whether skies will be clear for the total solar eclipse. It's like advertising all over my damn screen. Passing over Texas on April 8th, a rare event that coincides with what is historically one of the rainiest months in the Lone Star State. As of Friday, today is Sunday. As of Friday, the weather channel says 40 to 50% chance of scattered thunderstorms throughout the day. However, the National Weather Service office in Austin, San Antonio will provide a prediction only when the event draws nearer, typically 2 to 5 days. So they're not saying yet. The odds are not great, but it is still it's still pretty far out for a decent weather forecast. But the thing about that is, well, if you see better weather along the eclipse line, a couple hundred miles away, you're not going to get there because traffic will be a gridlock everywhere. If you decide, well, okay, I'm going to go there in advance now. I'm not going to go to my original place, which is Dallas. I'm going to go up the road and pick a spot. You're not going to get a hotel. They're all booked. Everywhere along the eclipse line. Yeah, I'm sure. Booked for years. So you're toast. Try it where you're going to go, and again, by the middle of the week, I am sick as a dog. Then I'm not going to go at all.
Well, I'll go.
And if
in your place,
all right. But if the weather sucks, I've got a second thing that I'm kind of interested in being able to do because it's the ham radio thing. Our worldwide communication is affected significantly by the ionosphere, which is significantly affected by the sun. And so we're doing studies about how much the eclipse changes the ionosphere.
Ooh, that's a cool topic.
Yeah, and I've got a mobile ham radio station that I will be operating. And so getting on the air and literally listening to signals either appear out of nowhere or fade out, depending on what part of the spectrum you're playing with.
Yeah.
As you know, as an old broadcaster and just an old person in general, on the AM radio band, you can hear stations across wide swaths of the country at night that you can't hear during the day.
Yes.
And so an eclipse will, and the reason for that, can I get really technical on you?
Yes.
The ionosphere has several layers. It's got the D layer, the E layer, and the F layer. And if you ask, why isn't there an A and a B and a C layer? It's because the people that came up with the theory at first and then sort of the proof that there was a D and an E and an F layer thought, well, there's probably going to be an A and a B and a C layer someplace. We just can't tell right now. We're going to leave those letters available. Never found them. They don't exist. So there's a D, an E, and an F layer. The F layer is what's responsible for worldwide propagation of shortwave radio.
Okay.
The D layer absorbs radio signals as they head up to toward the F layer. The D layer is lower. The D layer is about 50 or so miles above the surface of the Earth. And as your radio signal goes up there, the D layer will absorb radio signals, but it only absorbs the radio signals in the lower part of the radio spectrum. And the AM broadcast band is in the very low part of the radio spectrum. So in the daytime, the AM radio signals are heading up to the ionosphere, wanting to bounce off like they do at night, but the D layer absorbs them. And they can't get very far. And then as the sun sets, the D layer dissipates quickly. It's powered by the sun.
Powered by the sun.
And so it stops absorbing the AM stations, especially the big clear 50,000 watters. Their signal now bounce off the ionosphere and travel thousands of miles.
So
I hope you were taking notes. There is going to be a quiz.
Well, I mean, part of this is that.
Well, and the eclipse part is that as the eclipse is going over, some of that D layer that is being powered by the sun no longer gets the sun, and it starts to dissipate. But how much, and over what spectrum, and what really happens? If you were to listen to the AM broadcast band during the middle of the eclipse, and not just from right under the eclipse, but from some distance away, you may hear signals that only normally appear at night. So look for the big Clear Channel AM stations where you don't have a local station on the same frequency. From, say, 1,000 miles away. Pick a Clear Channel station, like Boston or something, and see if their signal appears in the middle of the day, the afternoon when this eclipse happens.
Fun. That would be fun. So this...
The big New York clears. 77, 88, 66.
You can listen to my friend Steve Scott on WCBS News Radio 88.
Did you say news?
News Radio. Steve Scott is an awesome, awesome guy. He and his wife, Jean.
Does he sound like a real newsman when he's talking on WCBS News?
Oh, his voice. Oof, to die for as a broadcaster. He was the news director at WLS before he moved out to New York. So I believe it's the Driscoll Hotel in Austin. I believe it's the Driscoll. Has one of the best hotel bars on earth. It has cowhide seats at the bar. The back of the seats it's cowhide, and it's actually, you can see the white and then the brown, and it's got the hair on it. It's just so cool. And there's a huge, I think it's a steer head hanging in the lobby. Oh man, that's a cool place.
In Boston?
No, in Austin.
Austin, okay.
And then there's another bar.
I was thinking because
that
that doesn't sound like Boston to me.
No,
I'm only partly listening to you at this point because we've been going almost 3 hours.
So you're
fading out.
Yeah, it is time to go.
What else did we not mention? As long as we're just wasting too much time. Ronna McDaniel.
Oh yeah. That bullshit.
Yeah, my point there, because people have been saying that MSNBC. She was the Republican National Committee chairperson that Trump edged out in favor of his favorite North Carolina guy.
Even though she was leading and is still leading the election was stolen campaign.
Yeah. Anyway, NBC said
even if you're friends and do a good job for Trump, he still kicks you aside when you're of no further use to him.
Yeah, because that's Trump. NBC said, "Oh, we got one. We got somebody we can bring in." People have been saying, well, and then they fired her. So all of the Fox News folks are saying, you can't be a Republican on MSNBC. Excuse me, Joe Scarborough.
Yeah.
Nicole Wallace. Michael Steele. Yeah. Michael Steele, former Republican National Committee chairman. All on MSNBC. 2 of them with their regular shows. And I think Michael Steele's even got a show now. Yes, there are Republicans on MSNBC. There just aren't any MAGA Republicans on there.
Right.
And so the question then becomes, well, do we even want to bring them on? Because all they do is lie.
I know. Just listen to NPR, listen to Morning Edition, and they get accused all the time, or all things considered, of cutting off the Republicans they have on. Well, they cut them off when they just have this talking point lie stream just going, and it's bullshit. And, you can't sit there and, man, it's just like, yes, they interrupt to get you to stop telling lies.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You're not just going to get 5 minutes to spout your venomous, ridiculous conspiracy theories and lies that have been already debunked. Just you can't. No, you're not just getting the time to do that. Yeah. That's ridiculous.
Or as they are occasionally referred to, alternate facts.
No, they're not alternate facts. Facts are facts. Opinions are not
Who was it
facts.
that said
Lies
that?
are not
I
facts.
can't remember her name. What?
I don't know who it was, but it was one of those. Who was that? I can't remember. They come and go. They just come and go. And, that's it. That's all I have to, and that's all I have to say about that. I'm going to go eat some chocolate. Yeah, I don't know. It's
Kellyanne Conway.
Kellyanne Conway. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, she is the poster child for Republican spin live on a non-Republican facing network.
So, you can't be on MSNBC if you're a Republican. You can't be on Fox if you tell the truth.
Yeah. Okay. So, finishing off just a little bit more.
And I'm done. So you finish. It's yours.
I was going through TSA on the
Take us home, Gary.
Going through TSA on the way back, and I handed my driver's license, and they stick it in their machine. And the guy looks at me and he's shaking his head. He said, "It won't scan." He tries cleaning it off. It won't scan. It won't scan. Do you have any other ID? This is the ID. This has gotten me on off airplanes for a couple of years now. I don't have anything with a picture on it. I've got a TSA card or a passport card, but I don't carry that around domestically because I don't want to lose it. So, no, nothing else with a picture on it. I said, okay, well, we need something with a picture. And so he brings a supervisor over, and the supervisor looks at it and sticks it in the machine a few more times. And finally, it clears. I don't know what the problem was, either with my driver's license or with the, which is what do they call it? That lets you fly. That's the current thing that has. You have to. Most states have.
I don't fly.
Oh, that's right. And you probably don't have it. Well, your driver's license probably still lets you.
I know you have to get the real ID.
Real ID. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So it's a real ID and all that. So we don't know what we're going to do if they won't let me fly that day.
Don't fly.
Go rent a car and drive it from Salt Lake back to Fort Mill, South Carolina, in the shadow of Charlotte.
Be a nice trip. It's about 30, 40 hours.
Yep. And then the very last thing, I need my pictures.
I drove straight to Salt Lake City on Christmas Eve in 1978 after I got out of school. And I drove to Dad's place in Salt Lake City. I drove straight there in my International Harvester Scout. And I was going to stop in Steamboat Springs, but there was no hotel space. So I went to this convenience store that was open, the gas station, bought some gas and bought a bottle of Annie Green Springs apple wine.
Boone's Farm.
And, this was Annie Green Springs. And
same thing.
And I huddled myself in my sleeping bag because the heat in that damn thing wouldn't keep up. And I just drove. And I drove until light. It was starting to get light out the next morning, Christmas Day. And I don't know, to this day.
Jay said he was done. He's not done.
If I was, because I'd been up 24 hours, and was I hallucinating? Did this really happen? Was I drunk? Was I high? I don't know. And anyway, so I'm driving through this deep snow on an interstate and apparently going over Donner's Pass. And it was closed, and apparently I hadn't noticed it was closed. And so I'm driving through this. It's like a four-wheel drive. So I'm driving through this thing, and I'm like I'm running over white rabbits. So,
yeah, I would say you were hallucinating.
I have no idea. Well, there was blood on my truck, and so
maybe you were.
I think I was. Running over white rabbits, and then I knew that the road was closed when I got to the other end of the pass, coming down the other side of the mountains. I guess there was a gate across the road, and I had to drive around it to get out. I'm glad I had four-wheel drive, and that was an adventure. And then I was on the way to Texas for that godforsaken job. Everything I owned was in the back of that pickup truck.
Where were you coming from?
Carbondale, to Salt Lake City. It was a 24-hour drive straight through.
On your way to Texas. Salt Lake City is not in between Carbondale.
I went to Salt Lake City to see Dad,
Oh, okay.
and then I went to San Francisco, and then I went to L.A., and then I went to Las Vegas. I went to Las Vegas, and
I wonder
then
if
I went
I can
to
drive
Texas.
to L.A. via Omaha.
Kicked old Green Teeth right in the knee. So anyway, I'm done. Went on way longer than I thought, even though we had a very succinct agenda. Thank you
One
very
more
much,
thing.
Mr. Producer.
One more, as Steve Jobs would say, just one more thing.
One more thing.
Just one more thing. Recognize this?
Yeah, from the old days.
Well, this is from yesterday.
Oh.
This is I was sitting in the emergency row. And the flight attendant said, "There's, in the card, you should check and see how to open the door, the emergency door, in the event that you have to, because you're in the emergency row, and everybody's got to say verbally that they agree that they will be able to do this." And so I'm thinking, okay, well, I'll check the card and see what the instructions are, so that when we are crashing and stuff, I'm able to open this door without having to futz around. And so what I'm realizing is that I'm looking at this card, is that there are different instructions for each door.
Oops.
We got the A door up here at the front of the plane. We got the B door back behind the wing. Another A-type door at the very tail of the plane, and a C-type door over the wing. And different instructions. There's, I think I'm covering up the A, but there's the instructions for the A-type door. And then for those of you that are in the audio audience, just looking at different
Doors,
sets of instructions on this pamphlet. There's the C-type door, and then down here at the bottom,
is in the middle of the plane.
Yeah, down here at the bottom is the B-type door. So,
Which is a little bit farther back.
yeah, the flight attendant is standing next to me, getting ready to give the instructions on all of the
Doors.
Not the doors. No, your mask and your flotation device in case we crash into the Great Salt Lake and stuff like that. And I said, "Excuse me," and I show her this pamphlet, and I say, "Which?" And again, we're sitting right next to the exit door. I say, "Which door is this? Is this an A or door, a B door, or a C door?" And she looks at me like I drew a third eye. So I show her the pamphlet, and I say, "Oh, which one are we at?" And she has to look at it for a second. She says, "You're at the B-type door." The reason I was hesitant and confused is that in all of my years of being a flight attendant, no passenger has ever asked me that question. We're used to people not paying any attention to it.
Well, you were a Boy Scout.
At all.
You were a Boy Scout.
I mean, I've looked at these things a little bit in the past, but never much.
Yeah,
okay, so I'm at a B-type door. And so here are the instructions.
Be prepared.
Here are the instructions for the B-type door. Okay. There appears to be a lever or something that you throw to the left, and then something that you raise up. And then you grab the door and push it to the right, and then it's finally open, and then you pull on something, and the chute goes out.
Okay.
That appears to be the case for the door. Okay, so take a look at the door again here. There's something that goes to the left. There's something that goes up. It looks like looks like there's a payphone there.
Yeah.
And the door goes to the right. And now,
at what point do you kiss your ass goodbye?
There's the door.
Okay,
do
there's the door.
Do you see any of that?
No, I don't see anything that goes to the left. What's that thing up in the upper left?
Yeah.
Is that it?
This is not a hand. I mean, that says exit, but it's not a handle.
It's just an exit light?
Yeah, it may be a light. There's no handle. There's no handle anywhere. There's nothing that goes up. There doesn't go to the left. There's this thing up at the top that looks like it may be a handle. It says pull cover or something like that. So nothing like that.
Hey kid, pull my finger.
Nothing like that on this picture in the pamphlet.
Wow.
Oops, they're down there.
Nice.
But what there is also is this placard on the back of the seat. I thought I had a better picture of it. No, I guess the picture I took just barely shows this placard on the seat. That's how you open the door. The thing in the instructions that are sitting behind the seat, totally out of date. Nothing, not for this plane, not for this door.
And that's why the doors fall off.
That's the end. Yeah, that may be why the doors fall off. So, there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Jay and Gary Show. Do your podcast hang low.
As low as you can go.
Yep. And, you're not a D.
There's D.
You're not a D. Here's what I was looking for.
Say I am.
My little name. Sometimes you're an A, sometimes you're a D. I am Gary.
And I'm Jay. I'm doing my yoga. Getting ready.
Been for a long,
Done my stretch yet.
show. What I'm
It
gonna
has
do,
been a long show.
Yeah, what I'm going to do is, I guess I'll just the first version of the show before the crash is sitting there on YouTube. I'll just upload this second half to YouTube as part 2.
As part 2, that'd be great.
Yeah, and the audio audience, I'll concatenate them. I'll put them together. There'll be one thing for the audio.
Concatenate them?
That's what I will do. I will splice them together. I'll get my razor blade and splicing tape and splice them together.
Okay,
We'll do it live.
Just stay away from your balls.
Yep. And apparently they do hang low.
Which was a very cool thing. One last thing. I worked at Augustana College, and Steve Balls is the president of Augustana College, and he had a great sense of humor because they had T-shirts made up that said, "We've got balls." His name is spelled B-A-H-L-S, but still, the students made up these T-shirts. We've got balls. And he was a great president. He and Jane, his wife.
Their dog Judy, his boy Elroy, daughter Judy. What was the dog? Oh, Astro was the dog. But
Astro was the dog.
Where was that in the song?
I don't think they said it. It was just
Their dog Judy.
Mr. Spacely Sprockets.
And I often thought, if I were to describe my job as a video editor to people, it is mostly like George Jetson, just pushing one button over and over again.
Well, the way that we push the button when we're videoing when the grandkids are videoing their parents, we let them push the red button to hang up. So we could do that. I could do that on you right now.
I'm pushing the red button. Jay, I love you. Bro.
I love you too, bro.
Over.
Bye.
Over.
And out.
And
out.
And out. Oops.
Out.
Hey, we're still here.
That was cool. A new record.
But wait, we're still here. We haven't gone anywhere yet.
What happened?
Well, we're still recording, but I'm going to stop the recording. The streaming light says it's on, but I don't think we're streaming anywhere.
Okay. I'm turning my lights out.
I'm turning the recording off. Bye, everybody.
I'm going away. Bye.